Hi future R&Ds! Today, we will be talking about food service as a system as well as the types of food service systems. The objective of this video is for you to get a better grasp at how a food service system works and to differentiate the four types of food service systems. Let us first have some definition of terms. A system is a set of interdependent parts that work together to achieve a common goal. A food service organization is an example of a system. A subsystem, on the other hand, is the interdependent parts of a system. Systems theory is basically viewing the organization as a whole made up of interdependent parts. Inputs or resources required by system. Examples of inputs are money, material, time, and information. Outputs are finished products and services of an organization. The outputs should be in line with the mission, goals, and objectives of the organization. The outputs provide the information on how the operations worked or failed, or how they should be changed or modified. This information is known as feedback. For example, the work performed to transform inputs into outputs are called operations. Transformation of inputs into outputs takes place in the functional subsystems. It looks like this. First is purchasing, followed by receiving, then storage and inventory control, pre-prep and ingredient assembly. Next is production, then distribution and service, and finally, sanitation and maintenance. Let us now move on to the types of food service systems. We will also be discussing the advantages and disadvantages of each type. The four major types of food service systems that exist today are conventional, ready-prepared, commissary, and assembly-serve system. These classifications are based on differences in location of preparation, amount of holding time and method of holding cooked food, the purchase form of the food, and labor and equipment required. First type of food service system is the conventional or the traditional system. This system is most effective in situations and locales where the labor supply is adequate and of relatively low cost, where sources of food supplies, especially raw foods, are readily available, and when adequate space is allocated for food service equipment and activities. Typical users of the conventional system are smaller food service operations such as independent restaurants, schools, colleges, hospital and healthcare facilities, homes for specialized groups, and in-plant employee feeding. The conventional system has its advantages and disadvantages. Its advantages are individuality and standard of quality desired is achieved, more adaptable to the regional, ethnic, and individual preferences of its customers. Greater flexibility is possible in making menu changes, and less freezer storage is required. Its disadvantages are produces a stressful workday caused by meal period demands, workloads vary which makes it difficult to achieve high productivity, and scheduling workers may be difficult with overlapping shifts. The second type of food service system is the ready-prepared system. This is also known as the cook-chill or cook-freeze method. In this system, foods are prepared on the premises, then chilled or frozen and stored for use at some later time. Let us differentiate the cook-chill and cook-freeze method. In cook-chill method, food is prepared and cooked, then quickly chilled for use at a later time. Whereas in cook-freeze method, after food is prepared and cooked, it is then frozen for later use. Let us now discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this system. For the advantages, management has close control over menu selections, quality of ingredients, and portion size and quantity. Peaks and valleys of workloads as well as production labor cost is reduced. Quality and quantity control and nutrient retention is improved, and use of equipment is more balanced. For the disadvantages, there is a need for large cold storage and freezer units which take space and add to energy cost. Extensive modifications in the recipe and ingredients are necessary, and appropriate and adequate equipment for the rethermalization of foods prior to service is essential and can be costly. The third type of food service system is the commissary system. This system is a central production kitchen or food factory with centralized food purchasing and delivery to off-site facilities for final preparation. Prepared foods may be stored frozen, chilled, or hot-held. Typical users of this system are airline caterers, large city school systems, and franchise or chain restaurant organizations. Let's discuss its advantages and disadvantages. For the advantages, it is cost-saving due to large volume purchasing, and there is reduced duplication of the labor and equipment. Quality control may be more effective and consistent as there is only one unit to supervise. For the disadvantages, food safety and distribution of prepared foods may be a concern. It requires specialized equipment and trucks for delivery to maintain correct temperature for food safety. There is high cost of purchase, maintenance, and repair of the sophisticated and specialized equipment needed. We now move on to the last type of food service system, which is the assembly serve system. This system requires no on-site food production. Fully prepared foods are purchased and require only storage, final assembling, heating, and serving. The primary users of the assembly serve system are hospitals, yet some healthcare institutions and restaurants also use it. Let's have a look at the advantages and disadvantages of this system. Foremost advantage of this system is the built-in labor savings. Fewer personnel are required and they don't have to be highly skilled or experienced. Procurement costs are lower because of better portion control, less waste, reductions in purchasing time, and less pilferage. Equipment and space requirements are minimal, as are operating costs for gas, electricity, and water. The disadvantages of this system, however, are limited selection of desired menu, quality of available prepared products may be affected, and customer acceptability may be a problem. That wraps up our discussion for today. I hope you learned a lot. Bye!